Cheers. Good morning. I'm on my strat today. Just got some coffee. Pretty excited to be back doing my live stream on YouTube, which has been pretty good turnout lately. So I thank you for tuning in. Let me know who you are if you're watching, and type in the chat. I always appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these live streams. I'll keep trying my best to flip on the camera and offer some of my ideas and demonstrations and lesson materials. A lot of it, of course, is available on Patreon if you want the PDFs and tabs and all that stuff. This particular lesson, I guess today, or chat, will be about the Mixolydian mode, which I think the modes are often kind of mysterious to a lot of people about what exactly they are. And I did a live stream last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago now, if you want to check out my previous live streams on the modes, where I went through each of the 7 church modes, demonstrating it. But today's topic will be specifically just dissecting and exploring the Mixolydian mode. So if that's new for you, this will be a really good introduction lesson to what the Mixolydian mode is. It's a very popular sound, and it's a great scale to have under your fingertips and your ear. I have a couple etudes just dedicated a lot to the Mixolydian mode, including a blues etude, an etude for a Sweet Georgia Brown if you're a swing gypsy jazz player. The Mixolydian mode is great. And if you're a rock player too, the Mixolydian scale is a great mode to have down under your belt. But again, we also want to know what it sounds like so you can target certain notes. And I'm going to show you a couple of my fretboard tricks that I like to think about to get that Mixolydian flavor. Let's get in tune here. I'm just that sounds good to me. I'm not using a 440. I'm just playing by ear. Okay. Does that sound good to you guys? Thumbs up. So let's talk about scales right now. Scales are the foundation for music, really. You have the chromatic scale, which is all 12 notes. That's always a good warm-up, as you already had seen me do these warm-ups. The chromatic scale is a great one to have down. I also love to warm up. I'm just touching my guitar the first time this morning, so just coffee and guitar right now. So pentatonic scales. I always go through my 5 positions. This is G major, by the way. E minor penta and G major. So, work on your 5 positions, kind of more of a mental exercise as well as just technique. I'm just kind of warming up again. And I do these digit patterns. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I like that chromatic scale. I also love to practice some arpeggios to warm up. So, but we're not going to be doing anything too intense right now. If you want to get my warm-ups and stuff like that, all my scale stuff, that's all available on Patreon. I do have to just mention that as a disclaimer. I put all my teaching materials on my Patreon. So if you are interested in that, join my Patreon community to get access to all of my teaching materials. So let's go ahead and talk shop now, the Mixolydian mode. The Mixolydian mode is a major scale with a flat 7. That's the best way to think of it, the major scale with a flat 7. So of course, you've got to start with what's a major scale. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to play it, okay? So if we play it here on D, okay, right here, I'm just going to, again, grab your guitar, do this with me, make sure you can do this, okay? So we have D, E, F sharp. That's 1, 2, 3. This is a major scale, okay? Then we'll hit the Mixolydian mode. I'll talk about, the formulas. But do this first. 1, 2, 3. You could even do this. Okay, doesn't matter. until I show you a couple of my fretboard tricks. Then it won't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's a D major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, that's very, very important that you master the major scale. Okay, and what I'm going to show you today with the Mixolydian mode is once you know that major scale, this is another way of thinking of it. It's beautiful. Once you know that major scale all over the fretboard, you just got to know what the Mixolydian mode is related to the key that you're in, and then the fretboard just opens up magically to you. Just the whole fretboard becomes unlocked, and I think that's a huge benefit of learning your modes on all the positions. Okay, so that's the major scale. Be able to do it here, or do it here. Here. And I'm just demonstrating it right now, just one octave. You don't, you could do it. You could do it 3 octaves or more, but again, once you know 1 octave, then you just build it up slowly. So it's more important, I think, at first to learn just 1 octave, make some music out of it, and then alter it to get the Mixolydian mode. I've got my loop pedal here. Let's see what's on here. Hopefully there's not a previous loop. I'm just going to play D, G, and A. How about 1, 4, 5? How does it feel? Sounds like a little Jimmy or Bob Dylan. 2, 3, 4. D major scale. So now that we've practiced a D major scale, what we want to do now is just 1, 4, 5, like a Rolling Stone style progression. But now that you have the D major scale, the Ionian mode, that's the fancy church name for it, Ionian, we want to flat the 7. Okay, so let's now flat that 7. So let's do the major scale again. This is the technique to learn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then here we go. Instead of a 7 here, flat 7. So it's no longer a D major scale. It's D Mixolydian mode. It's a major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, except it has a flat 7. It's kind of a fun little shape there, if you'd like the 3 notes per string. So let's talk about that again, and we're going to play it in a few different positions. It's always very important to be able to play a scale starting on any note and run the formula. So here it is again, 1, 2. Let's do it like this: D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Ready for this? This is very important, that the 6 to the flat 7, that that's a half step. That's where that half step is. So, and then, of course, to get to the flat 7 to the 8, that's your octave. So again, that's what a Mixolydian mode is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7 of the major scale, and then 8. Let's start here. And again, this is why it's so important that you memorize and learn your major scale first. So that last 2 notes, see where that half step is? And well, now it's going to be a whole step. And now that's Mixolydian mode. You're going to get that in your ear. You have to kind of sing that. Da da ba da ba 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 da 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 da. This is where I would like to give myself a drone to really get that Mixolydian flavor in my ear. I'm just giving myself a D. Da da. And now you can noodle around. See the fingering? Now you can do all this fun stuff. One string, but I'm going to stay in this position since I showed you start this way. 1, 2, 3. Do it slowly with me. 1, 2, 3. 3 to 4 is a half step. That's why I like to bend there. Flat 7, 6, 5. So here's and remember my live stream from 2 weeks ago, Louie. Let me tune up here. Always know where 1, 4, 5 is. 1, 4, 5. So what I'm talking a lot about right now is intervals. Again, check out my theory lessons, especially on intervals. If it's still new for you to talk in terms of numbers, because when you, as an improviser, especially in jazz, you want to think numbers. You got to think numbers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. 1, 3. We talk in numbers and chord formulas and scale formulas. So if that's new for you, again, put that on your list. Like, I need to really study up on intervals and the numbering system. Okay. If you're just joining me, welcome. Doing a live stream midweek here, just for fun. I'll make this one short today, unless some more people join in. Give me a thumbs up if you are watching this, if you enjoy it. And we're talking about the Mixolydian mode, and I'm starting right here on D. And I'm showing you 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, 3 to 4 is a half step. 5, 6, and then a flat 7. And once you learn these patterns, then you're not bound to your particular fingering, unless you just want to noodle around only with scale patterns. But here's this D drone. This is a great way to practice modes. Just give yourself a drone string. Use your open strings because you can, Hit the D. Don't even blaze through the whole scale. Just really embrace. Get to know the sound. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. That's what defines the Mixolydian mode. And then you're going to learn it everywhere. And I'm going to show you my method of learning it so you can play that D Mixolydian mode. In this case, D Mixo or any mode. So you can play it all over the fretboard. It doesn't matter what position you're in. But again, right now I'm just demonstrating the sound of the Mixolydian mode in the formula 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the flat 7, 8, just like you're playing the major scale of the flat 7. Here it is here. And we just want to hit that note. And I'm going to show you now staying on one string. This is one thing I love to do. So I hit that drone, the D, so we can get that flavor. Here's the root. 1, 2, 3. That's 2 whole steps. And then half step, 3 to 4. Don't mean to hit that G. A, B, and then half step to the flat 7. And then octave. So again, and then hit the flat 7 here. Da. Don't lose your root. So here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then half step, flat 7, octave. You can slur all you want. And right now I'm just giving you a drone. I'm going to show you a couple chords that you could be thinking. I mean, the first one obviously is a D7 chord. Because it's a dominant chord, it's a 5. The Mixolydian is the 5th mode. And now I'm going to talk about how to think of it, and then this will bleed into some chords as well, but how to think about it all over the fretboard. Okay, so the Mixolydian mode is the 5th mode of the major scale. So if you have a D Mixolydian, that's 5 of what? Okay, think about that. Type it in the chat. What is D the 5th of? Anybody know? Well, go back to your Louie Louie. Here's D, right? Remember the Louie Louie exercise is this. 1, 4, 5, right? So D is the 5th of G. So here's the ultimate trick to learning and mastering your modes. It's not really a trick, but it's a little bit of theory. If someone says play me D Mixolydian, what you want to do is relate it to the key of G. So now if I give myself a D7 chord, and I'm giving myself a D7 chord because that's the 5 chord in the key of G. Again, there's a little bit of theory of got the loop on the D7, a little rush there. Notice I'm hanging on the D. But I'm thinking key of G. That's how easy it is. So right now I'm thinking in that position, I was actually thinking E Aeolian. They're all the same 7 notes. So again, don't be afraid of the modes. Just know your key centers. Go through all 7 modes. So D Mixolydian is the same as G Ionian, A Dorian, B Phrygian, C Lydian, D Mixolydian. Check out my live stream from the other day. E Aeolian and F sharp Locrian. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate what I did the other day in the key of G. I said play your 7 modes. Learn your 7 modes like this all over the fretboard. A Dorian, B Phrygian, C Lydian. I can say it faster than I can play it. C Mixo. I can play it faster than I can say it. E Aeolian. And I have the PDF shirt that's available, of course, on Patreon. And it's on YouTube. There's another video. F sharp Locrian. And there's G Ionian. So when we put the vamp on, we can run through all 7 modes. It's all D Mixolydian. That was B Phrygian. Now I'm in C Lydian mode. D Mixo. Now I'm in E Aeolian. What's important is that you know where that half step is. That's what brings out the Mixolydian flavor. That's why I keep landing on that C note. And we can stay on 1 string. flat 7. Da 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 dum. Sing, we play. Fa mi, re do. One string. Root. Flat 7. Target those notes. 6. So again, really be aware, because that's how you're going to hear those colors, is by relating it to the scale degrees, and then you can know what you want to play. I mean, I think to me that's one of my goals, is to kind of pre-hear what I'm going to play and then play it. I mean, it's kind of an instant gratification to be able to do that, and it's fun. And I always do suggest sing what you play. I think that makes you more connected to what you play versus just letting your fingers run patterns and noodling, and that's fine too. I'd rather connect to what I play. So let's just keep it super simple, either one string or just one position. And I'm just going to choose this position right here. And again, this is the trick if you're just tuning in to mastering these modes. You can play it all over. I know, I'm confident I could play D Mixolydian all over the fretboard because I know the key of G. It's D Mixolydian. It's the same thing. So don't be afraid of the name of the modes. Just make sure you relate it to the key that you're in. Know where the half steps are, because the half steps are what define the mode. If we didn't do any half steps, you know what we have, right? Who knows what we have if we don't have half steps in these scales, the modes. This is supposed to be interactive, so that's your time to chat. I can't see you, so I can't mouth it. Anybody know? If you take out the half steps? I'll tell you, pentatonic scales. If we took out the half steps, we have the pentatonic scales. And that's the beauty of the pentatonic scales. They're kind of ambiguous. They don't really define the mode. I mean, I'm just talking about to the chord, but we can play other pentatonics to get the flavor of the mode. And then I'm going to maybe talk about that too. I need a couple more thumbs up to keep going here, though. It's kind of a light day. I'm going to just demonstrate a couple chordal ideas here for you as well. But if you're just tuning in, I'm just talking about how to master the mode, the Mixolydian mode in this case, which is really not much different from the other ones. Thank you for the thumbs up there. It worked. I'm going to give myself another. I just say just do this. Just do a drone. But a drone can get a little bit monotonous, I do have to admit. So if you have this. But it's kind of nice. That was a major scale. That was not the flat 7. There's your flat 7 for the Mixolydian mode. Hit that D. Get that flat 7. And just noodle around. Basically, again, I know I'm in the key of G. That's the trick. You know what key we're in. So here's a really simple and great Mixolydian mode progression. Okay, to bring out the flavor of the Mixolydian mode. You play, in this case, we're in D Mixolydian, which is, again, the key of G. Play a D chord, and you play a C chord. And then remember, in the key of G, that's 4 and 5, or 5 and 4, respectively, because we have Louie Louie. 5, 4. But if you want to bring out the mode flavor, this is true for any of the modes. Okay, if you want to bring out the mode flavor, don't change the bass note. Just keep it all on the same note, meaning pedal tone. So I'm going to do a simple triad. I want you to do this with me. Play a D major chord, and then keep the D in the bass, but go to a C major chord on top. That was my cat, by the way. Cat loves to jam with me. That was awesome. That's pretty epic. D. Thumbs up if you like cats. C over D. That's C/D. So we have something like this. Let me tune up a little bit better here for you. We have D. D to C. We could also do it here. We do it here, D to C. Why does that sound like Mixolydian, D to C? Because if you analyze the 6 notes that we have, the 2 triads, D, F sharp, A, C, E, G, that's almost the D Mixolydian mode. We're just missing the B note, okay? So it's the 6 notes, and that's another really cool fretboard thing I'm going to talk about next, is thinking off that idea. But just to noodle around a little bit more on this D to C triad progression, let me clear my loop. And maybe something like this, maybe just 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Remember, we're in the key of G. So we can noodle around all we want in the key of G, okay? And that's kind of, again, to me, the important thing is that you relate it to the key, and then you can play it all over the fretboard because you know your major scales starting on in the key of G. Let's talk a little bit more about some cool ideas for fretboard stuff to kind of bring out the modal flavor. The first thing I want to say is think pentatonic scale. So you have D major, okay, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. This is that diagonal method I was talking about the other day again in the live stream. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. You can see how important it is to think in terms of numbers. That's the best way to communicate. And then we're gonna, from the 6, remember 6 to the flat 7 is your half step. So just add your pinky on, or just grace it, or bend it for that matter. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then let's get a little bit more of an 8th note rock feel. Dun, 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 dun. We're just going D, C, keeping the D pedal tone. You can bend it. But it's, I'm thinking pentatonic scale. Now I'm going to go up an octave. I love that bend from the 6 to the flat 7. Here's the pentatonic. And then from the 6, you get the flat 7. Have a lot of fun. Right here. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And here we go. Add that flat 7 on. Da, 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 da. Back down. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. That's your major penta, flat 7. Da, 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 da. Okay. We're just one note shy of being the full mode. We just don't have the G, the 4. But this is my little hack to get the Mixolydian vibe. You think pentatonic and add the flat 7 on, so it's a 6-note scale. And that's because I noticed that a lot of people know their pentatonics really well. So the mode is just adding on this one other note. and just noodle around. You're going to find some cool shapes. I like to hold notes and let them bleed together. Get some nice intervals. And I want to add the 4 in. I do want to because I love the 4. But here's a flat 7. That's what brings out the Mixolydian. Remember, we're just in the key of G. So you get to noodle all you want in the key of G. But that's fine. Just make some nice melodies. Start on the root. Sing what you play. There's that flat 7. There's a 5th. And here's that shape. Right here. This is a sliding scale. Here's the pentatonic. Then with the added flat 7. You can do 6s. Remember, in the key of G, key of G, 6s. Little triplet. Here it is. 6s. Anyways, there you go. That's a little Mixolydian mode lesson there for you. Hope you enjoyed today's live stream. We'll see y'all next time.